Here comes this one, I guess. Military college student sues armed forces over HIV policy. I'll put it simply to you. The military doesn't recruit sick people. It's really that simple. We've had a story recently on the show about people trying to go from enlisted to officer or remain as an officer despite their HIV positive status. And I have different feelings about that. If you get sick while in the military, that's one thing. The military does not recruit sick people. It's that simple. But let's talk about this article and see what they say. A military college student who says he was removed from his duties at ROTC for testing positive for HIV is suing state and federal military officials. Come on. The 20-year-old student from Revere, Massachusetts, says in a complaint filed Thursday that he tested positive for HIV in October 2020 during his sophomore year at the nation's oldest private military college, Norwich University in Northfield, Vermont. Now, to this person, I do not mean to mock your illness. That's very serious. I feel compassionate for you. That's not easy to live with, but I might disagree with you on what you think the policy should be for the military. The student, who was identified in the lawsuit only as John Doe, said in the complaint filed in federal court in Burlington, Vermont, by the way, Burlington, beautiful place, that he was deemed unfit for service and dropped from the Reserve Officers Training Corps and the Vermont Army National Guard, despite being healthy, asymptomatic, and on a treatment regimen that renders his viral load undetectable. It just, you could be, if you had cancer and you're trying to join the military, there are very strict guidelines to that. You're probably going to be disqualified even though you're in remission or something like that. If you have autism, you're probably not going to be accepted for military service, even if you're high functioning or something like that. The military just doesn't recruit sick people. They even said if you had the vid, then you are barred from joining the military until further notice, because they didn't know how that would affect your lungs, your pulmonary performance going forward in your life. All right. So HIV is not something to play around with. It is communicable, and anything could happen to this person at any point in time regarding their health. The military just doesn't want to recruit sick people. There's a couple reasons. One, people try to exploit the military healthcare system by hiding sicknesses, getting in, and then getting free treatment for those sicknesses, meanwhile not deploying, not doing their job, not being a lethal member of the military. And then two, it affects readiness too, because if you are HIV positive, if you're in the military, I do believe you can't forward deploy or go on combat deployments. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. Lawyers for Civil Rights, a Boston-based group that filed a lawsuit on the student's behalf, declined to provide copies of the student's separation notice and other discharge documents, saying they are unredacted and will be submitted under seal to the court. So they don't want any private PII getting out there. But the lawsuit describes in some detail the circumstances around the dismissals, including that the student was informed he would not be able to get a scholarship let me start that sentence over. The lawsuit describes in some detail the circumstances around the dismissals, including that the student was informed he would not be able to get a scholarship or contract through the ROTC program due to his HIV status, and that he was no longer allowed to continue his monthly training periods with the State National Guard. If you're going to a military college, additionally, there are 1,000,001 reasons that your time there would come to an end earlier than you expected. This is just one of them. But your behavior while you're in those academies, sexual, drug use, anything, it's under a microscope more than anywhere else at these military academies. We've seen that with other stories we've covered on this show. You got to be on really your best behavior out there if you want to get commissioned through one of those academies. Under DOD regulations, HIV is among a lengthy list of medical conditions that automatically disqualify a person from enlisting. Not only that, but it's even worse for commissioned officers like he would become, as well as enrollment in ROTC scholarships, because those, of course, lead to commissionings. The student's lawyers argued that the military's HIV policies date back to the 1980s, when little was known about the condition, which, left untreated, can lead to AIDS. A generation after they were first developed, the military's policies are highly anachronistic and fail to reflect current medical reality, the lawyers for the Civil Rights Organization allege. Advances in medical treatment and prevention have transformed HIV from a progressive terminal disease to a manageable condition. Again, manageable condition is not the standards for military service. It's like tip-top shape people, the most healthy individuals, physically fit, everything, able to maintain a healthy weight, all of that, little or no dietary restrictions, even allergies. get noted on your service record when you join the military. Like, these are things that the military just doesn't play around with. A judge ruled last month that service members who are HIV positive cannot be discharged or barred from becoming an officer, but that's if they already joined healthy and then contracted HIV while they were serving. Sophia Hall, a deputy litigation director with the Lawyers for Civil Rights, said the student's case is unrelated because the Virginia ruling only applied to those already in the military service, like I was just saying. The student, in a statement provided by his lawyer, said he hopes to restore his military standing in order to follow in the footsteps of his grandfather and uncles who served in the armed forces. The lawsuit also asks the court to invalidate the military regulations and policies that led to his dismissal from the National Guard and ROTC. So, you guys tell me in the comments, what do you think? Should people be allowed to enlist or commission into the military while they're HIV positive? Leave it in the comments, yes or no. I am going to go ahead and I actually think no. I don't think that's a tough conclusion to arrive at based on how the military treats health for enlisting. Just saying. What's up, guys? Thanks for watching that video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and hit that subscribe button up in the corner here and check out this next video. If you want, in the description down below, there's links where you can get Scuttlebutt Show merch and find out how you can support the channel. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to talking to you guys very soon.